Hi, I'm Melanie. I'm bipolar. It took me a long time to be able to say that out loud. But in May 2011, I attended the National Conference of the Depression and Bipolar Support Alliance in Houston, Texas. And it helped me to come out of my shell and to make this video and to share my story of recovery. You see, in 2007, I felt I was drinking too much alcohol, and I checked myself into a rehab. After 5 days, getting all the alcohol out of my system, I had a full-blown manic episode. You say, well, what does that mean? Well, I was excessively happy. I was pacing in a triangle. Everything was in threes. I was talking gibberish. I was exhilarated. I kept using that word. My husband thought I had a brain tumor. You see, the alcohol had been keeping me depressed, and it had been doing so for weeks, months, even years. Some of the other symptoms of mania that I had been portraying during that time are that I would spend money, whether we had it or not. I would make poor business decisions. I would drive fast and reckless. I would not be able to concentrate. My job, I'm required to proofread, and I would have racing thoughts, meaning I would not be able to focus. And that would happen when I would try to sleep as well. My mind would just wander, go from one thing to another, and I would not be able to sleep for days. And you can imagine when that happened, your body, after it's up here for so long, being the life of the party, just go, 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 the rules never would apply to me, Eventually your body crashes, and when it crashes, for bipolar people, we usually crash hard. And I can remember during those times I would just cry for no reason. The commercials on TV, the prayer request at church, and people would always ask me, well, what's wrong? And I would say nothing, it was because I always had a frown on my face. And so my life was just a roller coaster. It was either up here or it was down here. And finally, after being diagnosed, I required medication to keep me in the middle. And that's why I got to go to a psychiatrist. And I've been doing that, and I go about every 3 months. And you say, well, why do you have to go so often? Well, you do that because it's required to keep your medication on an even kilter. Otherwise, the mood swings may come back. In between going to the psychiatrist, I go to a psychologist, and that I talked to her about things like stress, which I'm in a very stressful job, and family issues, and she helps me to see the red flags before they come up. A lot of times bipolar people don't want to take their medications because of the side effects. Well, everything has side effects. I mean, even water. You drink too much water, you go to the bathroom. I mean, everything. And so you just need to talk to your doctor about the side effects you're having. And bipolar people are very lucky because there are lots of medications that are available to us. And so your doctor can change this dosage or change you to a different medication. So don't let that that don't let that be an excuse for not taking your medication. When I first was diagnosed, I was really embarrassed. It really was a shock to me. I mean, I didn't want to have a mental illness. I didn't want anybody knowing. And I got on the internet and I found out everything there was to know, and I found the DBSA website, and one of the things that they had available to them was the support groups. Well, there wasn't a support group in my area, so I created my own. And you know, if you're in my area, you can look me up. My email address is athensbipolar@yahoo.com, and I'll give you information on where and when we meet. But you know, you can't change until there's change. A good friend of mine says that. You know, most bipolar people are very talented, creative people. There's a stigma that goes along with this disease, but you know, it's treatable, and if people that don't have it would, our family and our friends and normal people would support us and realize that, it would really help. So if you're watching this and you are bipolar, or you, after hearing some of those symptoms that I was portraying, you know, don't be embarrassed. Ask for help. Go to a psychiatrist or a mental health provider and ask for help. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. There's, I think, 22 million people out there with this disorder. It's treatable. If you're family or friends, be supportive. Encourage those of us that have this disease. You know, it's hard to have those emotional ups and downs all the time. But we live with this disease every day of our life. So I guess there's only one thing left to say, and that's, I'm Melanie, and I'm bipolar.